Hello everyone. For this lesson, I'll show you compound inequalities and how to graph both inequalities on number lines and find the solutions to both inequalities. So let's take a look at one example here. Let's say we have x greater than or equal to -2. Okay, that's one. And let's say we have x less than 3. Okay, and let's say we will combine them using the word and. Okay, so whenever you see the word and, think of it as the intersection of the two inequalities. All right, think of it as the intersection of the two inequalities. Right, and the solutions, right, of both inequalities, I'll show you how to graph that. Alright, so both inequalities have to be true when we graph the solutions. Alright, so let's graph the first one. Actually, let's make my number line here. 0, -1, -2, -3. I think that's good. And let's go to this side here. 1, 2, 3, and I think 4 is good, right? So each number line will have the same scale. Okay, you can mark them off if you want. So let's just mark off 0 so we know. Okay, so that's where the 0 is at. So now let's graph the first one. Okay, let's use this one here. All right, x is greater or equal to -2. So the first number line will correspond to that, right? So it will be a closed circle at -2. So -2 is right here, right? And it's going to be a closed circle. Okay, I'm using the number line down here, but it's the same. Right? So x is greater or equal to -2. So it's going to go in this direction. Right? And there it is. Okay. So now let's graph the other one. Okay. And x is less than 3. Okay, so I'm going to use the middle number line for that one. Right, so 3 is over here, and guess what? It's going to be an open circle. Right? Why? Because it's just less than, and it's less than 3, so it's going to go in this direction. Okay, I mean, you can keep on going, but I mean, that's enough. The arrow indicates that it's going to keep on going anyway, so we're pretty good with that, right? So now, when I want to find the solution of both inequalities, I want to find the intersection, right, of the first number line with the second number line. All right, so I'll use the third number line to indicate the solutions of both inequalities connected by the word and. Right, so we want to think of the intersection. Okay, so I'll use this color here. So we'll start with this. We'll start with this endpoint here, so it starts at 3, not including 3, and from the left hand side it's going to start at -2, and it includes 2, so let's close that. Right, so the intersection is the interval between -2, which is inclusive, so that means including -2, and it goes all the way up to 3, but not including 3. Right, so both inequalities have to be true for this one, right? And the last number line indicated by the purple interval here, from -2 to 3 but not including 3, are the solutions of both inequalities. Okay, and we're happy. Okay, let's take a look at the same two inequalities, x greater or equal to -2 and x is less than 3, but we're going to combine the two inequalities using the word or, right? Right? So when you're thinking of the word or, think of the union, right? And that refers to the combined regions of the two inequalities, right? It's called the union of the inequalities, okay? So when we're thinking of the word or, we're thinking of the solutions of either inequalities, okay? So again, let's make our number line. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and go down here, -1, -2, -3. I think that's good. Alright, so again, let's just reference the 0, mark it off, and let's pick this color here. So I want to graph x greater or equal to -2 again, right? So just like we did last time, it's going to be a, alright, so this goes with the first number line, right? So it's going to be closed circle at -2, and it's going to go in this direction, right? That one looks good, and let's use this one here, and I'm going to graph the middle number line for that one, and it starts at 3. Remember, 3 is an open circle, right? And it's going to go in this direction, right? So when we're looking at the union, right, the solutions of either one will be indicated by the third number line here. So we want to find the solution, right? So it's pretty much the whole number line, right? So if you look at the top one, it starts at -2, then it goes in that direction, but that keeps on going. And then for the middle number line, it starts at 3, but not including 3, and it goes in the opposite direction. So essentially, the solutions is pretty much the entire number line. Okay, indicated by the third number line here. And so we're done with this one. Alright, let's take a look at this example here. We have 2 is less than or equal to x plus 3 less than or equal to 7. Alright, so we have two inequalities combined into the way we wrote it out here, right? 2 is less than or equal to x plus 3 less than or equal to 7. So whenever you see this, you're thinking of the word and. Alright? Thinking of the word and. Again, we want to find the intersection, and remember, and is just the intersection. So essentially, we want to break this down to two inequalities separated by the word and, or joined by the word and, right? So here we want to find the intersection where the two graphs overlap. Okay, so essentially that's what we're doing when we think of the word and, right? We're finding the intersection where the two graphs overlap. Alright, so in order to do that, so let's separate the first inequality here, which is 2 less than or equal to x plus 3. So let me write that in the corner here so you guys can see out the work. Okay, so let's solve that real quick. I'll just minus 3, it's only a one-step inequality, so minus 3 to both sides. So this plus 3 and minus 3, they're gone, so you're left with just the x here on the right hand side, and that's just a -1. I like to put the x on the left hand side, so I'm just going to rearrange this here, so x is greater or equal to -1. Alright, so I'll use the first number line for that one. Oops, it's going to be -1. Okay, now let's make more space on the right. Alright, so the second one is x plus 3 less than or equal to 7. So let's write that on the side. X plus 3 is less than or equal to 7. Again, it's just a one-step inequality here, so we'll just minus 3 to both sides. And that gives us x less than or equal to 4, right? So the plus 3 and minus 3, they go away, right? So I'll use the second number line for that one. Okay, so we go ahead and write or mark off the numbers, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go up to 5, right? No big deal. And then on the left hand side, I'll go -1, -2, alright? So let's reference the 0, mark off the 0. Okay, so the first one, right, it's x greater or equal to -1, so it's going to be a solid circle at -1, and it's going to go in this direction. Okay, and then the other one is x less than or equal to 4, so we'll start at 4, but we'll go in this direction. Okay, so we have to find, since this is and, we have to find the intersection, right? So we recall, right, it's the intersection, right, or where the two graphs overlap. So here it starts at 4, then it goes down to -1 or -1 to 4, and where they overlap is the interval between -1 and 4, inclusive, because we want to include the -1 and the 4. So our solution are represented by the third number line here, and we're happy. Okay, we're down to the last example for tonight, so let's do this out. 2x less than or equal to 4, right? And we'll use the word or for this compound inequality, and then 3x greater than 15. Okay, so let's do out the first inequality. Right, so the only step we have to do is divide both sides by 2. Right, so when we do that out, we're going to get x is less than or equal to 2. Right, then I'll use the first number line for that one. Right, and then let's do this out here. Again, it's a one-step inequality, so we'll divide both sides by 3, and this comes out pretty nice, right? X is greater than 5. Okay, again, we're separating the two inequalities here using the word or, and remember, or is the union, right? The combined regions, right? So here, let's mark off our number line. 0, we'll go up to 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 6 will be enough. Okay, so let's do the first one, which is x. Oh, actually, let's mark off the 0. I like to do that. 0. And x is less than or equal to 2, right? So we'll go to 2. It's going to be a closed circle, and it's going to go in this direction since it's less than or equal to. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so now let's do the other one. And it's x greater than 5, so it's going to be an open circle at 5. And it's going to go in this direction. Okay, so now we have to find the union of the two inequalities, right? So let me do it with this color here. I want to find the union. Right? So it's going to be at 2. It's going to go here on the left hand side. And it's going to be at, not at 5, well, it starts at 5, but it doesn't include 5, and it's going to go in this direction here. Okay? So our solutions, right, are all the numbers from 2 down to the negative side, and starting at 5 but not including 5, and going in the positive direction. So 3 would not be part of the solution of this inequality, nor is 4, or any number between greater than 2 and 5. Okay, so the solution is, or the solutions are represented by the third number line here, right? And we're done.